Okay, welcome to the deep dive. So today we're looking at something pretty serious.
We are indeed. It stems from a personal video recorded just today, May 28th, 2025.
And in this video, the speaker is making some, well, extraordinary claims. Direct threats to their life, political persecution.
Allegedly orchestrated by the Ukrainian government, no less.
Yeah, and they don't mince words. They actually accuse President Zelenskyy directly, calling him green scum.
And claiming he's actively trying to, well, eliminate them, not just through official channels like sanctions, it sounds like.
Right, they mentioned the possibility of actual physical violence, too. It's intense.
So our aim here in this deep dive is really to unpack these very serious accusations.
Try to understand the context the speaker's giving us, right?
Yeah.
And figure out what the core claims are and, well, what they might mean.
Exactly. What's the significance?
Okay, so let's get into it. The speaker basically says these alleged actions are happening because they've been trying to expose wrongdoing.
And they specifically point to several claims they've made against an individual named Zelenskyy.
Right, Zelenskyy. What are those claims about?
Well, the first set seems to focus on family corruption involving Zelenskyy. You know, these kinds of allegations against public figures.
They can be explosive,
Yeah.
especially in terms of public trust.
Absolutely. Trust is often the first casualty. And then there's another point the speaker raises, perceived disrespect towards soldiers.
Ah, yes. They mentioned the First Lady's alleged trip to San Rama, was it?
That's the place mentioned. And referencing a location like that, known for, let's say, luxury?
Contrasted with the situation on the ground for soldiers.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a sensitive comparison to draw.
Particularly for a nation at war, how leadership is perceived, their connection to the reality people face, it matters a lot for public sentiment.
Definitely. Okay, so after the corruption and disrespect points, the speaker moves on to finances.
Yes, specific allegations about financial misappropriation. They claim funds belonging to Igor Kolomoisky.
The prominent businessman?
Right. Funds held in Monobank, allegedly misused. They even name specific individuals, Mind and Shy.
And there was a number mentioned too, wasn't there? A
Yeah.
large sum going offshore.
$40 million, allegedly transferred offshore to an entity called Amman.
Wow, okay.
Now look, these are just claims at this stage, but putting specific names and numbers out there.
It adds a layer of detail, doesn't it? Makes it seem more concrete, even if unverified.
Precisely. And it's a big if, but if claims like these were ever proven, the implications for the government, domestically, internationally, they'd be huge.
No doubt. So then the narrative seemed to take another turn, more towards, like, abuse of power.
That's right. The speaker alleges that President Zelenskyy himself is pressuring the SBU.
Ukraine's security service.
Exactly. Pressuring them to essentially fabricate a treason case against the speaker.
Fabricate a case.
Yeah.
That's a huge accusation against the head of state and the security service.
It is. And again, there's this striking level of detail. The speaker mentions a supposed FSB agent network.
FSB, the Russian security service.
Yes. A network codenamed Rhinoceros. And the speaker claims they're being linked to this network by individuals named Skripin and Vova Petro.
So the allegation is they're trying to paint the speaker as a Russian agent, essentially.
That seems to be the implication. A deliberate setup, according to the speaker.
Okay, this is where, for me, it gets really interesting and maybe darker. The speaker connects all this current pressure to something that happened back in 2017. That assassination attempt near the Espresso TV channel.
Yes, a terrible event. 2 people died then.
And at the time, what was the official line?
Well, the SBU back then reportedly blamed the GRU, that's Russian military intelligence, with the orders supposedly coming from Chechnya.
So by bringing that up now, what's the speaker doing? Are they suggesting a pattern?
It certainly seems like it. It feels like they're trying to establish that they've been a target for a while, that this isn't just some new development, almost saying, see, this kind of thing happens.
Right, okay. And part of that connection involves a specific person from the 2017 incident.
Yes, a key witness from that attack, a man named Anzor. He was also known as the blogger Vadinsky.
And what was his significance?
Well, according to the speaker, Anzor gave testimony about who actually ordered the 2017 attack.
Okay.
And apparently he also had information on other major cases, like the Amina Aqua murder. So Anzor in this narrative is a crucial figure who knew things.
A witness with potentially dangerous knowledge. But then, according to the speaker, something changed with the investigation into that 2017 attack.
Yes, they claim that after the 2019 election, when the new government came in, new SBU leadership, the investigation was deliberately stalled.
Deliberately. despite having this key witness.
That's the allegation. The speaker even says they got assurances from Ivan Bakanov, who was the SBU head at the time, but still the investigation went nowhere.
Which is effectively alleging obstruction of justice at a very high level.
It certainly points in that direction.
And the speaker then draws a truly grim conclusion from this alleged stalling. What happened to the witness, Ansor?
The speaker states that Anzor, this key witness, was later shot dead in Vienna.
Shot dead. So the implication is?
The implication is stark. The speaker is heavily suggesting that because the investigation was stopped, the witness was left exposed and was ultimately silenced.
It paints a picture of, potential impunity, that whoever was behind the 2017 attack got away with it and could potentially act again.
It's a deeply disturbing suggestion embedded in the narrative.
So, faced with all this, what does the speaker say they plan to do? Just put this video out.
No, they claim they have evidence. They use the phrase entire evidentiary base to back up these allegations.
Okay, evidence. And what are they going to do with it?
This is key. They state they intend to provide this evidence directly to European law enforcement agencies.
Bypassing the Ukrainian system completely.
Completely, which, the action alone speaks volumes about their stated level of trust or lack thereof in the domestic institutions.
It really does. And as we noted right at the start, the speaker actually addresses President Zelenskyy directly in the video.
It's a direct confrontation captured on video.
And the speaker maintains all of this. The threats, the alleged framing, the stalled investigation.
Yeah.
It's all because of their own efforts.
Yes, because they tried to expose corruption and other wrongdoing. That's the motive they ascribe to their alleged persecutors.
Now, we absolutely have to stress this point again.
Crucial point.
This entire deep dive, everything we've discussed, it's based solely on the account of one person in one video recorded today.
Absolutely. These are incredibly serious allegations. They demand rigorous, independent scrutiny and verification. We're analyzing the claims as presented, not validating them.
Right. And it really leaves you, the listener, to think about the weight of these accusations, currently uncorroborated as they are.
You consider the potential fallout if even parts of this account turn out to be accurate. The implications could be immense.
It definitely throws a spotlight on the complexities, maybe even the dangers individuals might face when they make claims like this against powerful figures.
Especially in politically volatile environments. It touches on fundamental questions, doesn't it? About the rule of law, about due process.
And about the safety of people who claim to have information about wrongdoing. Whistleblowers, essentially.
Can they be protected? Is the system capable of handling such claims fairly?
So, maybe something for you to consider further is, how does one independently verify claims of this nature? When trust in domestic systems is allegedly broken, what role, if any, can international bodies play? It's a complex picture.
It certainly is. A lot to think about.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.